On what's already been a bit of a contentious Saturday in college basketball. Some anxious moments. Providence and Providence and St. John's early second half. Bryce Hopkins, look at the foul by Duncan Powell.
Yeah, that was a bad foul. You have to make a play on the ball. That wasn't a clean play there.
Yeah, it's an awful play, and that's not basketball right there. He didn't even go for the ball at all.
6 ejections in all, 4 St. John's players, 3 for leaving the bench. Dylan Mitchell got a flagrant 2. Duncan Powell, Jalen Sellers, each flagrant 2s for Providence. Second half, Dylan Darling, pull up for 3. Johnny's led by 7. Norm, it was ugly. It stayed ugly. Keep an eye on Jameer Jones and Zuby Ejiofor.
Very, very dangerous play. Very dangerous play. You don't do that. That's totally uncalled for. No matter how disappointed you are or frustrated you are, you don't do that in basketball.
Yeah, that's uncalled for. And, you know, obviously rivalry game, emotions, but you have to keep the game clean.
10-point St. John's win. Again, 7 ejections in this game. 6 from the initial scrap involving Dylan Mitchell, Duncan Powell, and Bryce Hopkins. 1 later, the ejection of Jameer Jones. Kev, let's talk about it. It's a rivalry game. They're regional rivals. Hopkins is a former Friar. Providence beat St. John's earlier this season. How do you process that scene?
Well, as a coach, I love the emotions of the game coming in. When you look at Providence, they went to the Madison Square Garden and they won. But keep the game clean. You can talk trash, you can do whatever you want to, but some of those fouls were uncalled for, and someone could really get hurt in that game.
Yeah, it was a dangerous situation. You want your team to play with great energy, great focus, but you can't let it get out of hand. And what happened to Providence, they lost their cool. They lost their head. They forgot they were in the basketball game, and they started doing things that weren't called for.
And look, you know, this is not something we knew emotions would be high coming into this game. Providence is not going to the NCAA tournament. St. John's could be a Final Four team. How was this handled before the game even started in terms of the message from the coaches?
Well, I think the coaches' messages were the right way. You don't expect, you get caught up in the game. And I think when you look at Powell, he got caught up in the game. Like, you have to make a play on the ball there. That's just not a good play. They've got to get back. They got to look at tape, and they got to figure out, like, hey, how do you, put your emotions in the right place, Norm, instead of putting into a bad foul situation?
Coach English should talk to his team and say, hey, we want to play with force. We want to play hard, but we don't want to do things that we shouldn't do. And pushing when players are in the air and coming across somebody's head, that's not how you play basketball, and that's not who we are. Because we know Kimmy English is a great coach. He does a great job with his guys. They just lost their cool today.
Taking away from a St. John's road victory, and boy, the Johnnies playing as well as just about anybody in the Big East.